How would you like guaranteed beautiful and golden skin in only a couple of tans? Slogans like this are what indoor tanning salons promise to create, a beautiful tan in only a few sessions. The result from this tan is dark and clear skin that makes a person feel and look better. No wonder this craze is so popular. Who wouldn't want to look like they just came back from the Caribbean with beautiful skin? This is obviously a personal opinion, but this new habit of tanning indoors has become a growing concern. Although many people are aware of the risks that coincide with using tanning beds, many overlook these risks because of self-image or the media. Today I'm going to explain what indoor tanning is and the amount of people that do it. We will then talk about the health risks that come along with it, and we will end by discussing various steps people can take to help protect themselves against the potential outcomes of tanning. I'll begin by telling you what tanning is and how many people do it. By definition, tanning is a browning or darkening of the skin, as by exposure to the sun. This can be done by either tanning indoors or outdoors. A tanning bed is a device that emits ultraviolet radiation to produce an enhancing tan. Regular tanning beds use several fluorescent lamps that have phosphor blends designed to emit the UV in a range that is similar to the sun. But UV rays damage skin no matter where they come from. The most dangerous types of UV rays can actually change DNA in the cells, which is what experts believe causes the most skin cancers. Weaker UV rays, though less likely to cause cancer, are linked to long-term skin damage, including wrinkles and changes in texture. It is believed that approximately 30 million Americans are tanning indoors in around 25,000 salons nationwide. 35% of American adults, 59% of college students, and 17% of teens have reported using a tanning bed in their lifetime. Nearly 70% of tanning salon patrons are Caucasian girls and young women. The rising popularity of tanning beds came about a few decades ago when media and society started emphasizing that bronze skin was in. A variety of people use tanning beds, both men and women, and for a variety of reasons. Some use them as a weekly or daily routine. Others use them seasonally when it's winter and they can't get that nice tan. And then there are event tanners who go before events like prom, a wedding, or a vacation. I'm sure you can tell that the use of tanning beds is a big thing for Americans in this day and age. Due to this, many people are now discovering the health risks that come about from the frequent use. Many people may see tanning as a great way to make themselves feel healthier and more confident, but it does have great risks. The dark side of tanning is daunting and has many potential health risks. The two major dangers from indoor tanning are melanoma and premature aging. The United States Department of Health and Human Services and the World Health Organization's International Agency of Research on Cancer panel has declared ultraviolet radiation from the sun and artificial sources, such as tanning bed and sun lamps, to be known as carcinogens or cancer-causing substances. Research indicates that UV light from the sun and tanning beds can both cause melanoma and increase the risk of benign moles having the potential to progress into melanoma. Melanoma is treatable if caught early, but because it is likely to spread to other parts of the body, it is very dangerous and potentially fatal. Evidence from multiple studies has shown that exposure to UV radiation from indoor tanning devices is associated with an increased risk of melanoma and non-melanoma skin cancer, including squamous cell carcinoma and basal cell carcinoma. Researchers estimate that indoor tanning may cause more than 400,000 cases of skin cancer in the U.S. each year. Using indoor tanning beds before the age of 35 can increase your risk of melanoma, the most deadliest form of skin cancer, by 59%. The risk increases with each use. Women younger than 30 are 6 times more likely to develop melanoma if they tan indoors. Studies have also shown that exposure to UV radiation during indoor tanning damages the DNA in the skin cells. Excessive exposure to UV radiation during indoor tanning can lead to premature aging, immune suppression, and eye damage, including cataracts and ocular melanoma. A recent research estimated that 3,234 injuries related to indoor tanning, including burns, loss of consciousness, and eye injuries, were treated in U.S. emergency departments every year from 2003 to 2012. Here I have pictures of basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma, which is the worst. And then the difference is with the premature aging, you can see she had clear skin here and now wrinkles. Same down here, she just has more freckles, it looks like, and damaged skin. And then this is what the ocular melanoma looks like. It's got that brown patch there. As many of you have probably heard, there are many false statements that have been said about tanning. Now that they have been proven wrong, you can further your ways to help protect yourself. There are many ways in which an individual can help protect themselves against the dangers that come with indoor tanning. To take steps in the right direction, in May of 2014, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration took a stand and issued new regulations strengthening warning for indoor tanning devices. These regulations included a strong recommendation against the use of tanning beds by minors under 18, labeling that clearly informs users about the risks of using tanning beds, and the warning for frequent users of sun lamps and tanning beds to be regularly screened for skin cancer. In December of 2015, the FDA proposed an age restriction on indoor tanning for minors under the age of 18, as well as risk acknowledgement forms that all adults must sign before using tanning devices, just to help decrease the risk of minors using tanning beds. California, Illinois, Louisiana, Minnesota, Nevada, and Vermont, as well as many other states, have passed laws that prohibit minors under the age of 18 from tanning indoors. Meanwhile, Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania have passed legislation banning minors under the age of 17 from using tanning devices. Some of the tanning myths that have been floating around include a tan acts as the body's natural protection against sunburn, the idea that tanning gives people a healthy glow, and that indoor tanning is safe because you can control the level of exposure to UV rays. The truths to these myths are as follows. A tan is actually the body's response to injury from UV rays, thus showing that damage has been done to the skin. Having a tan does little to protect from further exposure. Whether tanning or burning, you are exposing yourself to harmful rays that damage your skin, not at all giving it a healthy look. And lastly, tanning indoors still exposes you to the same intense UV rays, which actually increases the risk for skin damage. To protect yourself in the best possible ways, you should cover up when you are out in the sun, wear clothing and a hat to protect as much skin as possible, and use sunglasses that block at least 99% of UV light. Using sunscreen with a broad spectrum and an SPF of at least 30, and reapplying every 2 hours as well as after swimming is also beneficial. If neither of those are possible, seeking shade or limiting your direct exposure to the sun when the UV rays are strongest will also help. And of course, avoiding tanning beds and sun lamps will decrease the chances of long-term damage to the skin. There are many long-term effects to indoor tanning that are harmful to a person, but most people do not understand this because they want the short-term effects that become most satisfying. Even one indoor tanning session can increase a user's risk of developing squamous cell carcinoma by 67% and basal cell carcinoma by 29%. But it is very important to understand that all tanning, whether it be indoors or outdoors, will damage the skin, and that there is much more to tanning than just laying in a bed and coming out with the tan. The tanning process is a complicated progression and affects more than just your skin. It also affects the DNA. Since being exposed to ultraviolet light is a bad option, there are many safe alternatives to having that beautiful dark skin everyone would like. Bronzing powder, self-tanning creams, and spray tans offer a golden glow without the harmful UV rays from indoor tanning. So, make sure to think about the potential risks that could come from tanning before stepping into that salon again.